Yeah. Hey, everybody, it's your boy Chris, aka Mr. Phantastic. Welcome back to another episode of the Off Air Podcast. With me, as always, is my boy John.
Welcome back to the
boy, John.
2021 podcast.
What? No, 2020. Don't get ahead. Don't get ahead of yourself there, bud.
Always
Come
plan
on.
ahead, and then plan 4 steps back.
Playing 4 parallel universes ahead.
Sure. Anyways, welcome back, guys. It's sorry we've been off, air.
Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
Okay. Schedule has been inconsistent between us being busy, but a lot going on lately in the tech and gaming world. I don't know. Do you want to start? Should I start? I'm gonna say it right now. I don't have anything good. Maybe one thing that's good.
No, I don't have anything good.
Okay.
It's all negative.
Oh damn.
Anyways,
Why would I even count on you for that? I would get bad news from you.
Anyways, speaking about
Bad news.
bad news, let me preface this. Actually, no, I got one good news.
Okay.
The developers of Doom Eternal,
Oh.
id Software, has announced publicly, meaning it should be set in stone. They said, and I quote, "No microtransactions, no loot boxes, nothing that requires you to pay more money to play."
Okay. Well, now we have to hold them up to it. You remember what happened last time? We were talking about the same thing last year with Modern Warfare, and look at what happened.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on my money.
I said I was gonna buy the game. That was the deal.
No, we amended it because I don't want you to buy the game.
I appreciate that. Good thing your birthday's coming up, right?
No. Yeah, id Software announced for the highly anticipated game that it's gonna be microtransaction free, and plus they're still working on it. They're actually increasing quality since all the beta tests that everyone's been playing.
Right. Yeah. At least that's one thing that they've been staying on top of is that people are testing it. It's available. People are trying it out.
Right. Yeah, I believe this new last test, they're like, all right, you got 3 hours. You can record for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Go.
Yeah. There's definitely some reasonable confidence for the release of this game, which you could always count on if studio is confident about sharing with other people and talking about what's going to be in it.
Yeah, apparently the pace has actually picked up even more.
Hell yeah.
From the first game.
Hell yeah.
All right, speaking about great companies, let's talk about the Fallen Titans.
Oh no.
We're going to talk about the great and wonderful Blizzard that never does anything wrong.
Ah.
Oh, sorry. I'm reading off my bad April Fool's jokes.
We're not even there yet.
Exactly. I'm practicing early.
Man, it's been a minute since we talked about Blizzard too. Ever since that controversy with China
and their half-assed apology from BlizzCon.
Yeah, BlizzCon. I don't know.
Well, speaking about BlizzCon, they promised a very special remastered game for their players called Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Right. That did happen.
Yeah. When I tell you, when you hear remastered, what do you think they do for the game, Chris?
They might go about cleaning it up, and if they add anything new, it's kind of doesn't really add much to the gameplay.
Well, when I hear remaster,
it really depends on who it's coming from in terms of remaster. But
when I think of remaster, I imagine, all right, they're gonna clean up the bad bugs, they're gonna update the engine a little bit, but not change it too much. They're gonna either add in one new mode just for shits and giggle, or they'll redo the textures, make them HD and ready for modern computers. No, Blizzard went another way. They showed you something shockingly, and when you got it, it's probably same or worse quality from the original game. Let's just say the backlash from the game is so bad that it actually is the #1 most hated game on Metacritic.
Oh God.
It's a 0.5 last time I checked. out
Yeah.
of 100.
Yeah. Oh, good God. Yeah. We have an article on here. Reforge launch was a hard week. Blizzard president says. Um,
No, it wasn't a hard week.
Continues to be surprisingly ugly affair. Uh, One of the most beloved RTS games of all time, yet the release of its long-awaited remastered edition has inspired widespread outrage over everything from cut content to an EULA that lays exclusive claim to any and all mods and other content you may create for the game. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What is the deal?
apparently you
How
signed
dare you restrain my right to use mods?
no,
I feel-
no. What they're saying is the end user license says if you create a game mode and it becomes popular and you want to make a game out of it, fuck you, we own it now. We won't even have to credit you.
I feel like that's even worse.
You know why? You
so
know
yeah, you can go about doing it. You just won't have any
connections to it.
Jesus.
You know why they're doing
Terrible.
this? Because they don't want to repeat what happened with Valve. Valve created Dota off of their games.
Yeah.
They don't want this to happen again.
Why? Dota is.
I mean,
that was like a prophecy foretold,
yeah.
and you're like, no, we don't.
You know, fuck you.
Yeah, no.
All the good games are some original good games are actually based off mods.
Exactly.
That's how we got Counter-Strike.
Mhm.
We got yeah. Sorry, I can't think of.
No, that's fair, but yeah, that's
Oh,
that's disappointing, to say the least.
no, that's
Damn.
just the beginning. It gets worse. The cutscenes were supposed to be remastered, revoiced.
Mhm.
Fuck you. They slightly tweaked it.
Yeah, they have a thumbnail here. It's not the most impressive.
They
that
tweaked
they
it.
have going on here.
Same voice acting,
Okay.
same everything. The graphics were supposed to be updated. No.
Mm.
If you want to go back to the original, you have to turn off shadows.
I believe it. Yeah.
And the UI, they just literally just shrunk it a little bit, but it's still the same broken mess.
Oh no.
You still have the same bugs from original game, the original like launch game.
Oh man.
Custom games and online barely function. People were crashing on starting the game.
Yep.
What else? You automatically got a random defeat, like you lose the game immediately if you start the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and that's not the worst part. You can't play the original now.
What?
They updated the original to this standard,
Oh God.
meaning whatever you loved back then doesn't exist.
This is pathetic.
It's been 17 years, Chris.
Oh, stop. 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 What happened? What happened to Blizzard? You remember the golden days?
I can tell you what happened. You're not gonna like it.
I know.
It's Activision.
I'm aware. I'm well aware.
Activision's fully.
It's not even under like this, but it's not under any of the same
Original creator heads.
yeah, or executive of previous times with you know
At this point,
earlier days of the original 3 Warcraft and
at this point,
original expansions of WoW.
it's more following the Bethesda path.
Yeah.
Where everyone's like, "Oh, this was the golden age," and then we got the shittiest game, and we're like, we look back, it's like, wait, all of them were bad.
I wouldn't say that.
Well, not but now compared to like, oh, we just overlooked a lot of issues because we trusted them.
Well, because here's the thing is that in like previous days of like with Blizzard, like with the first 3 Warcraft or like how you said with Bethesda, looking back at like Morrowind and Oblivion and Skyrim, those games still had very high standards for their time. Like looking back on it, if you were to compare to what they're doing now, yeah, it's terribly disappointing, but that doesn't make anything bad for those games.
Well, yeah.
that they put out within those times. You know what I mean?
Well, when I mean like all the it was shit back then, it's because they went back and looked at all the promises that were never delivered.
Oh yeah,
Fallout 3, 200 endings.
yeah, that didn't happen.
Skyrim, quote unquote, infinite endings.
Yeah,
They screwed over Vegas
yeah,
by like a big bonus.
yeah. I don't know. It's
It's very shady practice, but we're not going to be talking about Bethesda.
Oh well, yeah. We're not talking about Bethesda.
I don't want to talk about them.
That's not what you told me when you walked into this room.
Well, I could. I said I could,
Oh, okay.
but I won't.
I don't have anything. I don't have anything that's gonna make you happy today, John.
You're
You
acting.
you don't have to have anything that's gonna make me happy.
All right, fine. You want fine. All right. So the last year we had a major hack go out in Fallout 76
Uh-huh.
that allowed players to steal other people's inventory,
Yep. Yeah, that happened.
including things that are not allowed to be removed, such as Atom Shop items, meaning stuff you can buy with money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Bethesda slowly started, backing up, basically reloading a clone of that character and giving them back to the people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's a slight issue. They knew about this hack probably 2 days before.
What?
Because the guy's like, hey, I'm working on something. It's going to be going live soon. Bethesda was warned. Now, here's another thing. Bethesda's warned about another hack that's going to go public soon. This one, you don't have to be near the player now. Literally, it's like opening a chest and I can empty out someone's inventory across the damn map.
Are people still playing Fallout 76?
At this point, yes, because I'm still getting news about it.
Oh yeah, but like, never mind.
Oh yeah, and basically this new hack also includes aimbot. Aimbot. So basically, I don't have to aim at you. My bullets automatically gonna hit.
Real.
My bullets will automatically hit you.
Oh my god.
This is what happens when you use the same engine for every game. We know the exploits. All right, let's move on to EA.
How they been jacking up prices on Steam?
I didn't know that part.
What?
I was gonna talk about their loot boxes. You know how much they made last year? On just loot boxes? 1.65 billion alone.
What the hell?
I know it's in the billion range, but I don't know. But why?
See billions, like with the B?
Yeah, with a fat B.
Jesus Christ.
1/4 alone was like basically like $250,000. Like it was basically quarters.
Jesus. And on top of this, yeah, so like EA was jacking up prices on old games on Steam.
I mean, I'm not surprised.
So yeah, it just might be returning to Steam after a long hiatus, but many of its older games have continued to be sold on the platform for years. Yesterday, Steam users started reporting that a significant number of them had jumped in price. It seems to have been regional prices that have been hit, with U.S. prices remaining the same. Okay, so we're not feeling it over here, but in the UK, holy shit. So there's been like an average £5 increase on games such as like SimCity 4 and Dragon Age Origins.
I got that for free.
Wow.
It's amazing because
SimCity 4, this is a 16-year-old game.
Yeah, well, guess what?
And now it's going for £17.99.
Guess what? Fuck you.
What the hell?
Fuck you.
People get these games for free. They've been around forever, and oh my god!
Every time I think of SimCity, I still think of City Skylines.
Dead Space 2 for $17.99. Can you imagine? When was the last time you even saw Dead Space 2?
The other day I thought I want to play Dead Space 3 with a friend.
Yes, but Dead Space 3.
Yeah, but not Space 3. No one talks about Dead Space 2. It's about 1 and then how 3 ended everything.
But no, I mean, like, even Dead Space 3 you can get now for ridiculously cheap on Steam.
I got it for free.
It's like, yeah, I think you can even get it
I
for
remember I'm going to tell you something. I still remember going to GameStop for my PS3 limited edition after my birthday, buying Dead Space 3, playing alone. I'm like, man, you know what? This is a good game.
So these prices.
But it's crazy how they're like, hey, it's a digital product. We can just jack it up.
It's ridiculous. Well, so this is happening in the UK, Canada, EU, Brazil, and Russia.
Not the Russians.
And New Zealand.
Oh, well.
What? This doesn't make anyone happy, John.
I still got my eyes on New Zealand. They're too quiet.
They're right next to Australia. That's kind of been under water and fire.
Yeah.
And bad politics.
I mean, that's always a given. Sadly.
It's not. Yes,
it's
not fair.
I know.
Fuck.
I mean, we're too busy dealing with ours.
That's not what the show was about.
I know it's not. Anyways, it's fuck. Well, I was gonna talk about for EA, they made a lot of money. Why do they need more?
I mean, they're really the best example. Them and well, I would say EA is the best example of how the gaming industry has gotten really greedy.
Oh,
I'd say that they are the prime offender.
No, it gets worse.
Does it?
They done worse.
Worse. I'm saying EA is the prime offender.
I know, but
they've done some pretty shady and shitty things.
Do you know about them firing a bunch of people before they have to cash in their checks?
What?
Oh yeah. They're like, oh, we hit profit year, meaning when everyone's waiting for their bonus, they're like, sorry, we're gonna let you guys go. Yeah, they lay off a lot of people, including, again, Blizzard people, veterans, and hiring cheaper people.
What?
Yeah. This is a new tactic that people are starting to discover.
Everyone's just talking about this this raising prices thing, and they haven't made any clear explanation. They've at least said things in the past about loot boxes, which has always been like a shitty thing, and they've only made it worse with how they've varied it, how they've basically turned it into gambling and used it for not only cosmetics but also for items that affect gameplay.
Yeah.
In several of their games.
Yeah.
Nearly all of their games.
They have a quote unquote time savers.
Mm-hmm.
The other day I pulled up the 2012 Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm like, you know what? I want the one DLC that actually expands the map. Still $25.
Oh yeah, and
it's still the same price. They won't budge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, all right, great. So I'll never finish this game 100%.
Yeah. So the average thing is that I mean we've talked about it before. Where the industry is now is that on average, especially paying for AAA titles, is that you're paying full price for an unfinished game that hopefully might get patched later on, or it ends up being ruined. And then if you even want to consider 100% of the game or getting any items at all, you also need to pay for loot boxes, possibly even gamble your way into getting them. Next thing you know, you're just dumping hundreds of dollars, possibly thousands.
So
or it's taking down points in your credit.
Stop it.
Kids get into it. They take their parents' credit cards.
Stop it. We talked about this.
I know.
I have a drinking problem.
It's just only getting worse.
I have a drinking problem because of them.
It's not funny to joke about that, John. Don't look at me like that. Stop looking at me like that. God damn it.
You're assuming.
Are you gonna continue with the conversation or what?
It's a very sad state of the industry, and
I mean, people have said before that the golden age of gaming is past.
it's always
At
been,
least 10 years. No, 15 years ago.
it's gone.
We can say it's gone.
I mean, to the point that Valve had to wake up.
Is there anything that they can save it? Can we depend on id Software and From Software?
Yes, and we got one more person. Valve.
Yeah. Valve has been there.
But speaking about Valve, there's been actual evidence that Epic Game Store has been affecting a lot of the gaming industry on PC.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
But like, there's actual numbers starting to show. It was like, all right, people are starting to get divided.
Really?
Actual user ratings are starting to fluctuate, and I'm gonna tell you something. Ask me when was the last. I found out when's the last time they updated with a major feature on that client for Epic Games. Since day one, they finally added in a rating system. And guess what? You can't leave a comment. It's all thumbs up or thumbs down. That's the only feature that thing has. A barely functional shopping cart. You got a barely functional chat feature. You can't gift games.
So they're not even going about like, practical web building
No.
practices.
Fuck you. We got Fortnite money.
Yeah, but these are things you can literally just like do.
That's the here.
You can have an intern do this on Squarespace.
No, I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of people is like, all right, we get it. If you're starting from scratch and if this is new,
but it's not.
Valve has
This is corporate.
refined this for years.
Oh my god, yeah.
Ubisoft refined this after they came off of Steam, but they're going back onto Steam now because they notice a lot of their players are like, I don't want to have so many fucking clients.
Oh, of course.
It's mind-boggling that, hey, I was excited for a game only to find out I can't buy on Steam anymore.
Right, because it's on the Epic Game Store.
I don't trust. I'm gonna be honest. I still don't trust it.
I mean, it's all just moving money around. They're paying off the bigger AAA developers,
AAA small developers, and a lot of people.
Small developers.
Yeah.
If it's worth it to them.
There's actual.
I mean, it's just shady, really just dirty tactics.
And the fact that they made profit last year from it, they're like, all right, it looks like it's working.
Of course, it's working.
It's working.
It's not ethical, but it's working.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm still waiting for Borderlands 3.
Same. Are you kidding me?
And I was like, have you played it? Oh my god. I'm like, it's still not on Steam.
Yeah, no.
They're like, but you can buy it. I'm like, it's not on Steam. I hear a lot of people.
Excuse me for preferring a much more usable UI on my client on my. Excuse me for having friends on a platform for over a decade now.
Or the fact that I can stream to my friends without loading up a different client.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
How easy is that? How long has it been around now?
All I have to do is shift tab, start streaming.
Yeah.
Or hey, Chris, I invite you to my stream so you can watch me.
Oh, how amazing is that?
And guess what? When you comment, it pops up on the side. Hey.
What a totally practical user experience.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw you were interested in this game. Here's other games like it. If not, you can let us know and we'll redo your recommendations.
Yeah.
Oh, you're more interested in racing games? Here's all the racing games we have. This system has been around for years.
Oh, of course.
Valve has refined it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, other companies are going to try to take it, take it and make it their own. But there's a dumber way to do it, and it's to not take it at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the disappointing thing is that looking at the Epic Game Store when compared to Steam is that their entire business model is being based off of paying more towards the developers to have their games exclusively on their store, so people can only buy the game on their store for whatever limited time. regardless of how poor the UI is on their platform or how impractical the use is. They have the games. They have what people want.
The only reason why I don't complain about the EA launchers, the Ubisoft launcher, is because I know they understand somewhat what the community wants, at least something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's useful, but I mean there's at least a try. There's actual community feedback. Meanwhile, it's just blank slate over here.
Yeah.
Speaking about blank slates,
Where are we going now?
I think we both know where this is going. We're going to talk about Stadia.
Oh, I don't want to.
It's been 50 days since the last update. Stadia's dying.
Is it? Whoa! Is it dying, or is Google going to kill it like they did with Google Glass?
I want to say both. Well, I'm sorry. They're gonna try to kill it like Google Glass, and the community's not happy about it. Well, what community there was, because they're mad. There's no updates. Most of the games are older versions of the updates. There's terrible lag. Still.
And apparently they're putting out a free tier in the next few months.
Yeah, a few months. This is still a beta. People paid for
that's what I still don't understand is that like there's an obvious opportunity, a future, let's say, for cloud gaming because I mean Nvidia is trying to get on it, Microsoft is trying to get on it, Sony is trying to get on it.
No, but I'm gonna tell
Valve is trying to get on it.
I'm gonna tell you what Nvidia is doing correctly with this.
With GeForce Now?
Yeah, they're like, hey, if you own it, you can stream it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Why do I have to buy my games again?
But that's the funny thing is that I could have sworn that Stadia advertised that before they released it that you can buy the game and then stream it immediately.
Yeah, but everyone
and they also said that a lot of the games that were going to be free at launch, including Destiny 2, and that's not what we got.
Destiny 2 is free on PC, but you're paying full price for a how many year old game? I want to say 3 years now. 3-year-old game.
Whoa, wait. So
Destiny 2.
No. Hold on. You say it's free on PC.
It's free on Steam.
Free on Steam. Okay, that's what you meant.
Because it's
but they said what they before they released it, they said it was going to be free on Stadia, meaning that you'll be able to play it on any platform you want on Stadia for free. That's what they advertised.
This was around the same time that
this was before they released it.
Bungie was transitioning from Blizzard, and they're like, "Hey, we're making it free instead of you guys paying the games." Everyone loved it. I loved it.
Yeah, sure.
I played it for a while.
Yeah, it seemed fair.
But it's.
But yeah, they advertised that game along with a few others, not too many. But they said Destiny 2 would be free with Stadia. They were talking about this back in like November 2019, just like a month or weeks before they released it.
All these games were more expensive than the console versions.
That's what I don't understand.
Console versions were like at $30. They're like, all right, you're paying $40 on Stadia. Everyone's like, math's not adding up.
Especially considering the bad experience people were getting, poor latency. Surprisingly, latency was actually worse on PC than it was on mobile.
Yeah, I still don't understand that.
I don't even understand how that translates to the hardware.
The math does not add up.
Yeah.
Because you have a smaller thing that you're already the phone itself is already computing.
Right, but you're dealing with a smaller processor. Now I understand that, like, considering it's a cloud game, it's not processing within the device you're playing on.
You're just buffering on here.
You're streaming it.
Right, but on.
Is it because it's a smaller screen?
It could, it could be
that by doing that they have a shorter bit rate to use.
They can hide the bullshit behind no screen. Technically, the game can run perfectly fine if you never look at it.
But then no, because people are also getting better, playing experience through Chromecast Ultra. So people were playing games on full size televisions, but then not on a PC monitor. So I don't understand what the it's inconsistent. It doesn't make sense.
Remember,
and then that doesn't even touch on the idea that they were saying how the speeds were going to be. They were advertising
actually,
like 4K 120 hertz,
crazy
numbers.
I'm gonna tell you this: the Ultracast, Google Ultracast, is wireless, which already
it's just through HDMI. Yeah,
it doesn't make sense because PCs are hardwired.
Yeah,
which again for a lot of people in the industry, when you're hardwired, that's faster. You're going through less bullshit.
That's just how the hardware works. Your Ethernet is going to be faster than your Wi-Fi. That's basics.
I just don't understand. Again, math doesn't add up.
Yeah, so I don't know. Where were we going with this before we just started ranting about Stadia?
Stadia was dying.
So what's the news on it because of GeForce Now?
Well, that Xbox Cloud is somewhat.
Xbox Cloud is coming. PS Now is going to be a thing.
PS Now after they killed PlayStation View.
Right. Yeah.
I found that out like by accident the other day. I'm like, oh okay.
So.
Yeah, this is the great race.
After spending a long time in beta, NVIDIA's GeForce Now streaming platform officially launched to everyone earlier this week.
Oh.
With that launch, the video game streaming wars heated up significantly. Before the launch of GeForce Now, Google Stadia was more or less the only player officially in the game, but now it has some serious competition, I would imagine.
Well, technically, Steam had a version of...
Yeah, but it wasn't ready yet. I mean...
Well, no, they did technically. It was out functioning.
For streaming? For cloud gaming?
Well, it wasn't fully cloud.
Like, you were able to download games. You've been able to download games.
No. What you're able to do is... You had a PC on the same network, and you had a thing called a Steam Link that allowed you to connect your TV to your PC, and it would stream it directly to your
okay,
TV.
so it's...
Yeah, it's similar.
It was game streaming, but not cloud streaming.
Right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, because the thing with Stadia and with GeForce Now is that all these games are being streamed from a massive cloud server in Silicon Valley, But GeForce Now, of course, isn't the sole competitor to Stadia. There are others that are either vying for a slice of the game streaming pie or soon will be. Microsoft has Project xCloud platform, but at the moment, that's only in limiting testing on Android devices. PlayStation Now has been available for years, even though Sony cut the services prices around the time Stadia launched. PS Now is limited only to PlayStation games. They're still looking to expand on that. When it comes to competition in the PC streaming space, specifically, it's GeForce Now and Stadia going head-to-head at the moment. While the two services aren't exactly the same, there are enough similarities between the two to warrant comparison, and that should make Google afraid. I mean, they're messing with NVIDIA, someone, a company that's been big in gaming software and hardware for years.
They are one of the four horsemen.
Yeah.
They're the one people that you don't want to mess with.
Yeah. That and AMD just gaining all this power all of a sudden within the last year in their hardware.
AMD is over here trying to create the Bane serum. They're like, we need power. They make power,
dude.
There's bad side effects to it.
AMD is over here building the biggest processors in the world and selling them to the likes of Apple. Even Apple is turning their back on Intel after decades of partnership.
They're like, hey, Apple, you haven't called for a while. I was like, yeah, I've been busy. Meanwhile, I was like, AMD's like, hey, who's that, honey?
AMD is that guy she tells you not to worry about right now. Let's see. What else with this? It's hardly a secret that the launch of Google Stadia has been a lackluster, to say the least. Google's launch strategy for Stadia was confusing at best, as the company seemed to heavily tout the fact that Stadia would be free to use, but then required early adopters to buy $130 Founders Edition. Google only said that free Stadia tier would go live some point this year, but as of today, we still don't know the launch date for that. They've been talking about a free version of it for a little while. And when they say free, I mean, I guess I guess it's just like any other Google software where it's not necessarily free, considering they need some sort of hardware. But I guess as long as you have a computer and a phone, it could work.
Is it gonna make?
But if you want to play it on your television, you need to have a Google compatible device, probably a Chromecast, and unless they can put it on Roku, that's one of their affiliates.
Am I gonna get like tackled every time I forget my password just trying to log on to that's
No promises. Well, have you had problems logging into your Google account in the past? Let us know. I'm sorry. I had to. Do you have a backup account? Do you have a backup email in case you need help logging into your Google account? I have like 4 Google accounts.
You know how many fucking emails I have to deal with? I have like my personal like shit posting one, my professional one, and then I have my couple work ones.
At least they're not Facebook. At least they tell you what your privacy settings are. I gotta give them that.
I guess.
People will shit on Google about like how they're really spying over you. It's like, well, you could turn it off, or just not use it.
You could fuck yourself.
It's not that hard. I mean, I'm using Chrome right now, but it's not that hard to use Firefox. You're someone who uses it.
I think I have good news.
Okay.
Ubisoft.
All right.
I've talked about it in the past, but at least this time they're actually being a little bit more vocal. After the very bad launch of Ghost Recon, how Ubisoft basically pushed back all their deadlines to an unknown date. Basically, they're gonna take more time to cook the games in house.
Okay.
Instead of pumping it out.
Time.
Because
is the reign finally over of them constantly putting out like a new
Assassin's Creed every year?
Exactly.
Everyone keeps asking me, man, have you played Assassin's Creed? Yeah, 2. That's it. Black Flag,
Black Flag was good. Odyssey was good.
For me,
it's kind of a hit or miss every now and then.
Right, but at this point, seeing the new games, they're like, I don't.
Oh, it's getting too repetitive. It's like
I don't recognize these games.
Oh, it's like Call of Duty. Only they change this. Only they significantly. I say they do a better job.
You have XP.
They do a better job of changing the skin every new installment, but it's still the same game for the most part. Ever since Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it's been about the same game.
And then
I'll say more like ever since Assassin's Creed 3, it's been the same game.
Including the Fallout game, not Fallout, Far Cry's.
Far Cry's been the same ever since Far Cry 3.
Far Cry 4 and Primal were the same maps.
Yeah. Far Cry 3 was still a really good game. Ubisoft put out a few good games back in like between 2010 and 2013, and they've been using the same formula ever since.
They're like, it works, run it down.
Yeah, and Activision has been doing the same thing ever since. It's like 2008.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Anyways, fuck you.
But what's this talking about? You're saying that they're spending more time on their games, and I was just looking up what other news is going on with Ubisoft.
Because a lot of people are asking what's going on with the next installment of Assassin's Creed, which is rumored to be Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, which has been teased in other games like The Division 2. A lot of people is like, is this gonna make or break with Ubisoft at this point when it comes out? Because you've seen why I've mentioned Assassin's Creed being a little bit weird recently. Yeah. Like Odyssey, Origins. Those have been a little bit out of left field.
Yeah. Oh my god, I hate this. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to pull up articles, and some of these sites don't allow ad blockers.
I guess. Um, it's very interesting. Just
I
try to
can't.
see what Ubisoft is trying to rethink. They basically restarted their game plan back in house.
Hmm.
A lot of their investors weren't too happy because of it.
Well, yeah, I mean that means it's going to take longer for each release, which means that we'll be happy with a more complete game, but their shareholders won't be happy for
Well,
having more time in between their paychecks.
well, that and plus they weren't too happy when they announced, "Hey, we're short of money
Oh, of course not.
early."
It's like, what you mean you need to borrow more of our money?
No, as in we're not gonna make the money that you were thinking you're gonna make.
Ah,
I see. Where's my money, Lebowski?
you got to pay me back eventually. I'll charge interest. God damn it. But
You know, Chance, he's a great guy.
So apparently they're going to release 5 new AAA games between this year and 2021. 3 of them getting released by the end of the year, and 2 being released early in 2021. So we're not expecting anything new until probably like this holiday season,
Yeah.
which is fine
Which originally,
for us.
yeah, it's fine.
Um.
A lot of games in March got like kicked back or
Yeah.
like basically they're on development hell.
Yeah. Oh, and none of them will be Beyond Good and Evil 2. Some people are waiting for that.
Yeah, which is technically good because
I mean, again, yeah, like, okay, I mean, I think it's a pretty common philosophy that, like, it doesn't matter how long it takes for you to get the game out as long as
it's ready.
yeah, and you give us what you were promised. I mean,
The-
you could always do the thing that like No Man's Sky did, where you promised a lot of things and lied about it, and then it took a long time for you to get out. But then eventually you ended up making a good game years after it was released. But if you're doing AAA titles, it's not really the standard we're looking for now, is it?
yeah.
But
That's the
yeah.
what game I was gonna say.
Well, we were talking about Assassin's Creed
It's
Ragnarok, and apparently they're also including Watch Dogs Legion, Rainbow Six Quarantine, Gods and Monsters, and yeah. Assassin's Creed.
Rainbow Six Quarantine. I've been waiting on their news list. There has
Yeah.
not been a single drop since that E3 trailer.
Really? Actually, I don't think there's been anything new since E3 on Watch Dogs either.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
They've
been real hush lately.
They're
More than usual. I mean, the past several years, Ubisoft will put out like a new trailer or a new article like every few months,
or beta test or
at
something like
least.
that.
That too.
I'm usually on the top of the list for the early alphas.
Yeah.
I have not received an invite recently, so they're cooking everything longer.
Yeah.
What else was it?
They're letting that shit simmer and smoke.
Speaking about people pushing back games, Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
Since the last time we talked, we were supposed to get Cyberpunk in March. I don't know, but a lot of people were waiting. I think it was early April.
What was the? Yeah, it's supposed to be released April 16th. That was the initial release date.
A lot of people were surprised, but CD Projekt Red did announce, "Hey, we're just pushing it back because we're not comfortable for putting it out, and plus we don't want that much crunch time. Anyways, we're gonna be doing crunch time."
Which one is it? Is it no crunch time or is it crunch time? Just give us a good game. CD Projekt Red has like consistently been like a hero in the industry. Don't let us down.
No, here's the thing. They're trying to learn from The Witcher 3 development.
Okay, yeah.
Where it was non-stop crunch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But was in the end, inhumane.
Yeah. No. Okay, I see. The problem was that they were keeping people working there overnight.
But this time they're actually switching out shifts.
I see. So
this week it'll be a new developing group working like crunch. Right. Then they'll switch out. But
so it's the same amount of hours that they were going to put towards developing the game in the first place.
It's just they're spreading it out.
Yeah. Oh, also, so apparently its new scheduled release is September 17th. So, okay.
But a lot of people are still
Yeah.
saying if you're gonna extend it, just extend it where you're not crunching still.
Right.
We're still
Yeah.
gonna buy the game.
Well, yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's the same. Like I said, it's the same amount of hours that are being put to develop the game. They're spreading it out between the labor that they have, but yeah,
But because of this, they also announced that multiplayer is not coming out until I believe 2021 or 22.
okay.
So another long time before we get that basically multiplayer, which I was
Yeah.
fine in the first place. I didn't want the
Yeah.
multiplayer.
I mean, they're promising a lot with this game, and what they've shown so far has been pretty impressive. Obviously,
Especially for this developer
absolutely.
after coming off the success of the Witcher series. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
like, all right, we're coming back full force.
Yeah, and they've already been working on this for a long time.
I believe they started like concept halfway through the Witcher.
Yeah, so I mean, that was already what, like 3 years ago, something like that. When did Witcher 3 come out? It wasn't even that long ago we discussed this.
I know. Maybe if we go back into our podcast,
Of our best
Witcher 3 was
games and movies of all time.
Witcher 3 was 2015.
Wow, yeah, yeah. So 5 years ago, yeah,
It's been cooking.
yeah.
I think they should let it cook a little bit longer.
Oh, absolutely, if necessary. I don't want my game coming out a little too chewy or, you know.
You know,
Uh,
too wet.
Be sure to render the fat off. Make sure it can fall off the bone nicely.
If it doesn't
I
fall
wanna
off the
taste-
bone, it's free.
I want to taste the smoke.
Speaking about speaking about games being pushed back again.
I like how I'm just comparing games to ribs. Sorry, what? Games being pushed back.
Yeah. Dying Light 2
Okay.
has been pushed back to an unknown date.
Unknown. It's somewhere out there, waiting.
The developers announced like, hey, we're not gonna be releasing in March. We're gonna have to let this game sit a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
We're not sure when it's gonna be ready. I have a feeling that it's gonna be falling into the Dead Island 2 category of we're working on it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you get.
Yeah.
Except Dead Island 2 was canceled, then revived, then canceled again, and
Yeah. I mean,
Switch developers. It's those games have been in limbo for a little bit.
yeah.
I have not heard anything from Dying Light 2 for a while.
Yeah, no, me neither. I mean,
I forgot this game was coming out. That's how long it's been.
yeah.
Dying Light 2 basically is a zombie parkour simulator.
Mm-hmm.
It basically
Yeah, it just says initial release date 2020.
yeah. They
And
don't
Dying
know.
Light, yeah, came out back in 2015 too. So this is another game that's been in development for about 5 years.
It could have been.
Could have been, as far as we know, because yeah, like you said, it's been moving around.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
switched developers, but I know.
Techland is developing it, but they've, I think Square Enix is publishing it now. So that
That changed a lot.
that changes things because now they're dealing with a much bigger company that's funding them at this point.
With this, I'm very skeptical how the game is gonna be because seeing from their first announcement trailer,
Yeah.
this game is supposed to follow your choices this time.
Right.
Either you help one faction take over a town, or you help the other one fall.
Let's see. I got an article on it right here. Yeah, delayed. Expected release date, much more. Oh wait, hold on. So fans are in meltdown as the sequel got delayed for some time and is now aimed for a spring release. When was it? When was this thing?
It was supposed to be this spring was supposed to come out.
Okay, because this article was just posted 2 days ago. Saying that it was a spring release date.
But it just
it
doesn't have an actual solid date.
Yeah. So here's the tweet from Techland.
Jamie pulled that up.
Yeah, development update to our dedicated community. It was a busy year for us as we continued working on our biggest project to date. We know you are awaiting the game eagerly, and we want to deliver exactly what we promised. We were initially aiming for a spring 2020 release for Dying Light 2, but unfortunately, we need more development time to fulfill our vision. We will have more detail to share in the coming months. We'll get back to you as soon as we have more information. We apologize for this unwelcome news. Our priority is to deliver an experience that lives up to our own high standards and to the expectations of you, our fans. Please stay tuned, and thank you to our fans around the world for your continued support, patience, and understanding, Techland. Okay. I mean, it's all good intentions, that they want the game to be ready when it comes out and not be unfinished like, some AAA developers.
Speak about spring. Sorry.
How many I haven't mentioned Go ahead, John. I'll wait until next week.
As if we were gonna have another next week.
Oh, we're gonna be here next week. God damn it.
Delicious.
What were you gonna say?
I still.
Jesus Christ.
I really still.
This dude walked in here with like a stack of paper. Like I gotta get this off my chest. I'm over here like I got like 5 different topics, but okay.
You want to talk? You can talk.
It's okay.
You want to talk shit? Fine, talk shit.
I was gonna talk about the Razr, the Motorola Razr.
The touchscreen one. The one that
I want to talk a little bit about the latest reviews and updates on foldable tech and where it's going.
Was it Marcus Brownlee?
And how it's not ready.
Was it Marcus Brownlee talking about it?
I mean, he went to the release of it, but he hasn't done a review of it yet. But CNET they built a machine.
Oh.
To test out how durable and practical the device would be over a long period of time use.
Oh no.
Let's see if I can bring it up. Actually,
is it just the one that constantly opens it?
Yes.
Oh, they're testing the hinges.
Oh, they opened it 27,000 times, and the hinge was starting to break, and multiple orders have mentioned the screen to just completely break. In fact, but in-store displays have had lines going down the display.
Delicious technology.
I don't know, foldable tech is exciting and all, but oh no, it was Android Police that went over it. Was it? Wait, hold on. Little Razr breaks. Oh no, yeah, seen the testing video. So yeah, it was 7,000 folds. But yeah, like some people have had. There's been a lot of strain issues with this, and I mean that was the same thing happened with the Galaxy Fold at first. That screens were breaking, was denting from touching it with your fingernails. And that would ruin displays or at least just like minorly the experience of the use of the device. Some people still love the Galaxy Fold, like Super Saft and Marquez Brownlee, like a lot of big names in the tech community are still really liking it, but it's all much like cloud gaming. This is something that is part of the future and not the present, or at least that's how I feel about it. It's cool, but it's not ready. I don't think not practically.
Just let it cook a little bit longer,
right? Maybe we should learn something from our friends over in Techland or in CD Projekt Red and just let our projects cook a little bit longer before we put them out. I mean, that's one thing that of all companies, Apple has actually done right for a long time.
Wait,
as well as Microsoft.
Wait, Apple has done something right?
I'm saying historically, whenever Apple puts out something new, they wait a long ass time to do it.
Oh.
Yeah. And unless it's taking out a port, then That's something else.
What? We took out the port halfway through this commercial. Why? Fuck you.
And no, we changed the charge port all of a sudden.
Why?
And it's not a USB Type C, because why? You need to get charged for it. Fuck you.
Speaking about USB Type C, very quickly.
Sure. Actually, yeah, we're kind of running low on time already, but yeah, go ahead.
The EU is trying to vote in to make one type of charger available.
No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
And it's USB Type C.
Yeah.
Only the most effective port that we have right now, in terms of transferring power and data, there is no more effective way. Dude, we have USB Type C terabyte thumb drives.
Hold on. First of all,
USB Type C everything. Goddammit.
Stop.
I want federal legislation saying that we will only use USB Type C.
Chris, you're scaring.
Put Apple out of business.
Chris, you're scaring me. You're flexing your muscles.
They already know they put it in the MacBook already. That's all they're using. It's the future.
No, we're gonna. Never mind.
USB Type C and wireless charging everything.
Yeah. I know the EU is trying to pass what the United States has done, where we reduce all 60,000 different chargers to 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's the other thing. Oh, okay, I understand.
It's to reduce waste.
I understand. So we're not just talking about like mobile tech or anything. We're talking about outlets.
Well, no, we're talking about actual phone mobile techs.
Oh, okay. I thought.
Well, relax.
Only because you mentioned that it's the EU doing it, and there's a lot of different
countries. That had different ports, but no, we're not talking about the actual charging ports.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about the actual phone chargers.
Right.
Because what's the one thing that you always break first on your phone other than your screen?
Commonly adapters and cables. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. Well, instead of...
That's why you get one of these little dogs. Or you get one of these really durable...
I actually had one snap off in my phone.
The cord or the dog?
The actual cord.
Oh. One of the woven ones? I've had this thing for
No, it was actually leather woven.
What? They make those?
Oh, they're fucking great.
What? So the core is woven and there's a leather sleeve going down it?
No,
the weaving is leather?
The weaving is leather all the way down.
Oh, instead of it being
metal mesh.
Or I see.
But
this one's actually this one is nylon and neoprene.
I think mine's actual I don't know.
There's a few different ones.
I don't want to.
The only thing is that this one kind of frays a little bit, but for the most part, I've had this one for 3 years now.
I have not had any fraying on mine.
Really?
No.
Well, no, not the fiber doesn't fray, but it's
the metal.
This one isn't metal.
Oh.
Mine's actual metal. It's nylon and neoprene, so it's like a toothbrush. Sometimes it frays slightly over time, but aside from that, it's pretty durable.
But anyways, EU is trying to reduce that to reduce electronic waste.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Because if you keep it uniform, meaning everyone has it.
Let me see if I can pull that up real quick.
If I'm correct, if it's the EU, I know specifically they're trying to do that sometime in the future.
I can't type. Oh, yeah, EU standard charger.
There you go.
Europe just voted in favor of making iPhone and... Whoa, hold up.
Yeah, that's...
iPhone and Android the same charger? No fucking way.
Yeah, Apple started sweating. What do you mean we gotta make money?
Wait, no,
what do you mean? I can't...
No, because it's so petty. I don't understand it. Because on the new iPhones, and the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro, what have you,
it's a lightning cable, but the lightning cable at the end is not USB. It's a USB-C. I know.
Exactly.
You explained this to me 4 fucking times in a week.
It makes me so angry.
I know, Chris. I had to deal with your bullshit yelling at me.
I hate it.
I'm not Apple.
It makes me
I'm not Tim Cook.
It's so stubborn.
Yeah, I am John.
But okay. This is the last thing we're going to go over for today. All right. Europe just voted in favor of making iPhone and Android use the same charger. The vote is more likely the iPhone will have to use USB Type C and would cut down a lot of charging cable waste. Yeah. Every time you buy a new device, whether it's iPhone, e-reader, people still use e-readers anyway,
yeah.
Or smartwatch, you get a new charging cable for it. Even now, thousands of old charging devices sit in the junk drawer of homes all over the world. Yeah, I mean, you should fucking see all the cables I have.
I have one drawer, and then I have a chest.
These 3 drawers are all tech.
I had
all filming equipment and gaming
I had
equipment.
to find a cable for my camera so I can transfer it. I had to go through like.
Wait, you don't have you don't have an SD reader?
No, on my computer. I have it on my laptop.
Oh no, I have a USB reader. You can borrow it sometime if you want.
I think I have one, but it's
Broken.
It's in a shed covered in grease. I think.
Oh.
It's one of those. Like,
okay.
I didn't know I had one of these.
Yeah. I also have the 3 terabyte and the 2 terabyte external hard drives.
Excuse me, fucker. Actually, I have a 1 terabyte freestanding SSD.
Well, yeah, I have a 2 terabyte SSD.
Anyways, yeah, EU's trying to standardize.
Yeah, so even
The one thing they done right recently.
Yeah, Europe wants to set a standard in the tech industry. It imagines a world where the consumer never has to buy a new charger because their old charger isn't compatible in their new device. Yes, justice. Fuck you, Apple. Eat it. I'm sorry. We've been eating this for a long time. People were talking. Okay, literally, I've been talking about standardizing USB Type C for like 3 years now. I feel like it's been forever.
I feel old just talking to you.
Dude, USB Type C came out like back in 2015.
I know.
Come on.
You know how
it works for everything.
You know how hard it was just to find a USB Type C here by itself for me.
You know how hard it is to find a USB Type B now.
I forget.
These microphones use USB Type B, and it's so annoying.
I
You
know.
can't find anything.
I had to find one of these at home. All of them are just the direct in-wall connectors.
Yeah.
Luckily, I found the one that was a USB version. I'm like, great.
Yeah. No, this is exciting. It makes perfect sense, and people have been talking about this for a long time.
Good news.
Let's see. Apple has a statement here. Apple said in the statement published in the Financial Times,
Fuck you.
We hope the Commission will continue to seek a solution that does not restrict the industry's ability to innovate and bring exciting new technology to customers. Well, you see,
well,
they don't
get a choice.
No, but here's the thing: is that like just with that statement, standardizing ports doesn't by any means mean that you need to limit your innovation in the tech you're building. In fact, it's proven that the Lightning port is not as effective as USB Type C. That's just a fact. So this is just a situation where going about applying yourself to the standards can actually help you. This is like the kind of thing that Porsche would do, where it's like, oh, there's new rules. Okay, done. We put out a new car that
follows everything.
Yeah, and it's still better than our competitors. I don't see why Apple doesn't. I don't see why they see this as a limitation.
Well, yeah, because here's the thing: not only do they have wired charging, we also have wireless charging, where you put it on the charging pads.
Oh yeah, and that's becoming more and more common. And then they put it in the latest version of their AirPods.
Yeah, so I don't understand why they're complaining.
And but that's another thing. Oh, and people always forget about this. Did you ever hear about what was it? Apple Air Charge, whatever it was. Basically, Apple back when they put out the iPhone 10, I want to say, they advertised a charging pad that would charge your phone, Apple Watch, and AirPods all at the same time.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
They never released it. It was even on the packaging when they put out the iPhone and the AirPods. When they put out the wireless charging AirPods, which was actually like a year after they announced that product, that they never put out. Because they couldn't, it wasn't ready. You can buy that charging pad from Nomad right now, and it'll be in leather, and you can get it customized.
Yeah.
It's just coils.
Air power is dead.
Air power.
Yeah, it's called air power.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it.
Anyway, yeah, the legislation would mostly affect Apple's proprietary Lightning cable. We believe regulation that forces conformity across the type of connector built into all smartphone stifles innovation rather than encouraging it, and would harm consumers in Europe and the economy as a whole. What? All of this over a fucking port that is obsolete. They're talking about how this hinders their innovation. It's a port. It's a fucking port.
They're throwing a temper tantrum. It's like, but I don't wanna.
I don't want to take it out.
I don't wanna take a nap.
And it's not like they don't. It's not like they need to change, their current. Because I would understand if they were going to complain about it affecting their production. That makes sense. They can't all of a sudden change the production on their iPhones. They have to do it on the next iPhone.
Yeah.
Which will be released in October.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. People just have to deal with having a few different cables until this holiday season in 2020. I really can't wait to see if they end up following through with this, because it will be about damn time. Anyway, we're pretty short on time.
We want to say thank you guys for following us,
Absolutely.
listening to us, ramble, talk like
rant, argue.
We got upcoming projects coming out soon. We're still working on
various things. We're gonna be on top of this. Quite a few reviews coming up. I should be having a new tech review dropping tonight on the personal channel, as well as should be expecting a few music videos going up on the main channel the next month or so. Should also have tech reviews on the main channel coming up. We had a few planned out, so
yeah. I'm almost done refining one of my personal tracks.
Ooh, still staying on top of the music game.
Yeah, I've been working on the one at a time instead of spreading them out.
Nice. Which
it's much easier just to focus on the one track. But other than that, there'll probably be a link next week.
Oh, right. Exciting stuff. All right. But nonetheless, we will see you all next week, most likely. Have a fantastic day. Check out the links in the description. Bye.
Bye.
Sitting legs. Just enough time.